I just love the tarot, how it tells a story, and there's so many times when cards will come up and then like switch positions in the next and like upcoming readings. So I think it's really interesting. Tarot never ceases to amaze me and just delight me. Hi guys, Jackie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you another City of Dreams tarot reading, and this one is for the week of January 22nd. So I'm excited to be back, and I'm curious how your guys' week went and how the last week's reading resonated with you. I'm still kind of letting it all sink in, and I'm super curious about what the cards have to say for us this week. I also wanted to give a little quick shout out to the Midnight City Tarot Stories membership section of my blog. So this can be found at midnightcitytarot.com. That's my website. It's also where you can purchase the deck. And on my website, I have a membership only, like exclusive place that I'm creating. That's just our kind of like safe, special, precious place on the internet where I'm able to post more about the background of the cards. I have interviews with awesome city witches, people that inspired the cards. And yeah, I get to really dive deep and write in longer form because I really love writing. So I love this opportunity to really dive deep and share more of my thoughts. And another thing that's included are the City of Dreams readings that are written out, including like journal prompts and just diving deeper into more of the meaty background. Because after I give these readings, I really feel it start to sink in, and I always feel like I have more to say that I just didn't get to say during the video. So that's a really cool way to do it. So definitely, grab your tarot journals. If you love to journal, this is a great opportunity to kind of see it through. And I feel like when you have that consistent practice, you really start to see a lot of growth and patterns emerging. So if you're into journaling, it's a really cool way to kind of check out that blog post, see the journal prompts, give it a little shot, write down your thoughts in your journal, and definitely like take notes on the readings too, because there might be revelations that you guys see from the cards that I'm not even seeing for you. So definitely a good opportunity to just, dive deeper and just be introspective. And, writing is such an amazing tool for that. So I'm excited to share my writing with you guys, and I hope that it inspires you to, journal more or just continue writing if that's something you already have in your practice. So yeah, definitely check that out. And also give me a follow on Midnight City Tarot on Instagram, and that is my only account. The only account I have on Instagram is Midnight City Tarot. So definitely beware of that. And yeah, it's awesome to see you guys there too. I post a lot of reels. I'm really enjoying making video, so I would love to see what you guys think of that. And I think that's everything. So we can kind of dive into our reading for today. So of course we have to do our candle first. First things first. We'll get that started. If you'd like to take a deep breath, you can go ahead and do that. We can do that together. And then if you have any guides that you work with that you'd like to call in, I've already done a little bit of grounding work before I started the video, so I feel pretty prepared. And yeah, anybody that you'd like to call in, ask for help, and may this reading be for the highest and best good of all concerned. So let's see. The Midnight City Tarot deck, like I said, this is available at midnightcitytarot.com, and I gift wrap all of them by hand myself. I hand stamp every single box. I wrap it in purple tissue. I have these really cute little stickers that go with the decks too, and they come with postcards. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole thing. So definitely check it out. And also I ship internationally too, which is super exciting. So you can just go onto the website and make your purchase, and it's super seamless. So very excited. That was a really cool accomplishment that I was able to set up with help of my partner. So I really want to give a big shout out to him because this really wouldn't be possible without him. So anyways, let's get into it. We have our deck, we have our journal, also available at midnightcitytarot.com. And let's see, postcards. This is the City of Dreams postcard, which inspired our reading. And while I'm shuffling today, I'll go through the questions for the reading just to refresh. It's the same questions that we've been asking every week. That way we can see some consistency and some themes emerging. I just love the tarot, how it tells a story, and there's so many times when cards will come up and then like switch positions in the next and like upcoming readings. So I think it's really interesting. Tarot never ceases to amaze me and just delight me. So, okay, let's see. I will get shuffling and I'll go over our questions. So for the first question, we ask for just a general message and overarching theme of the week. And then we uncover what's holding us back. We ask for what energies we can call upon for support, like who or what can we call upon for support. And, oh, that already fell out. Okay, well, we have the Magician. Should we put it back in? I feel like I should wait until I'm like completely done reading this spread, but that's interesting that flew out. Okay, and then our next question, oh my God, everyone's flying. 4 of coins. Okay, our next question is underlying themes and hidden messages, and then our last question is our next steps. That way we have a little bridge moving us forward to the next week. And this is all with the intention of creating the life that we dream of and bringing the qualities that we want to see in our lives, in, our relationships out into the world. And I know relationships are on our minds right now. We just had the full moon in Cancer, which really I felt brought out a lot of that watery, interpersonal, qualities. And I am a Cancer moon, so I really, really felt this one. It really felt like home to me very, very deeply. And yeah, it just made me think about my values in my relationships and what I want to see in them and how to make, those little adjustments to call forward the things that I would like and that make me feel good. And we have 8 of Swords again that just keeps coming out almost every week now. So anyways, oh my gosh, and the 10 of Wands. It's like, do we even, this is just the same every week. So, okay, let me shuffle for real, and then, we'll dive into it. But the whole point of this is to help support you in achieving the life that you dream of, whether it's bringing a project into the world or, creating a group of friends or anything that you want to create. It's just important to know it can be yours. And this is a little supportive way, just a small offering that I can give, letting you know that, we've got your back. Spirit's got your back, and there's a community here too that's also working on creating beautiful things in this world. So, all right, let's get to shuffling and then let's see what the cards have to say for this week. Okay, lots of cards flew out. We're just going to do jumpers. That's just the way that it wants to be. So, yeah, I'm going to look this over, go through card by card, and then let you know any bigger themes that I'm seeing. And of course we have repeating cards because that's just what happens. But I have to say we have a very lovely, beautiful, graceful friend as our general message and theme of the week, which I honestly haven't pulled this card in so long, and it's definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, there's a little suspense, but the card is Temperance. And this just feels like being wrapped in angel's wings. This is a really special, beautiful card. It is, it's about embodying being the spell. In this card, we have Swan. This is, if you've ever been to Prospect Park, there's the big lake, and in the middle, there's swans that are there. And the background of this card, let's just go through the whole thing because this is a story that I've actually never told before. So the reason why I picked the swan for Temperance, which really represents the angel and divine guidance and embodying the powerful alchemist that is moving water in the direction that water doesn't even naturally move in. It's that powerful, and it is that graceful, and it is that skilled and divine. Like it represents and embodies like that divine angelic presence. So the background of this card is I went to a seminar, like a workshop basically, and we were asked to script, to write out our next day, just exactly how we wanted it to go and flow. And scripting is something that I've done before, but I was kind of out of the habit, and it's easy to forget about those tools that we have, especially when times get a little bit more difficult. It's easy to forget. So it was a beautiful reminder, and I scripted this beautiful morning for myself. I think it was a Friday night, and the next day was going to be the weekend. So I scripted that I was going to go running, and I'd been working on running. Like that's something that I always use as a tool. It's a meditation for me. So I wanted to run a certain distance. So I asked to run 3 miles or 3.33 miles was what I asked, because I felt like that was a very divine number. And I did that. I asked for that, and I asked to feel really good and strong and, powerful when I was running, and not tired, and just to feel like carried through this run. So the next morning, I did my run. I went to Prospect Park, and I did my loops around the park. Usually I would use a runner app, so this time I had it on, but I didn't know, how far I was going. I wasn't getting the little updates or anything. And I was like, okay, I don't know how far I've run. It's been a few laps around the park, so it's got to be good. And I, did my little path and followed my intuition on which way to go and all that. So I was running down this big hill. I'm like, this will be just a gorgeous, lovely ending. And I'm going to end when I see the swans. And that's when I know that I'm good. That's my sign that I'm wrapping up my run. So I run down the hill, I see these beautiful swans, and it just feels like this huge, beautiful moment. And I look down at my phone, and I had run 3 miles, 3.33 miles. And I know the time was also a repeating number too. I can't remember what it was because this was a long time ago, but it just felt like there's, we're divinely guided, like spirit is present. So that is what, temperance is about. It's about having that grace and that trust and that faith that spirit is guiding you and angels are helping you achieve what you want to achieve. So how beautiful is that for our general message of the week ahead? This is a very welcomed card to see. And okay, so now we're going to get into what is holding us back. And we have the 4 of Cups. So it's a feeling of lack, like emotional scarcity or lack. In this card, we have a person who's picked up their coffees and they just feel like, I'm never, that feeling of just nothing's ever working out. I'm not getting the support I need. I didn't even get the coffees that I needed, And then we have the little person in the background, offering them their 4th cup, hey, wait, you forgot, it did work out. Everything is actually fine, even though it doesn't really seem like that to this person who is just choosing, not to see the potential support that they have that's, being handed to them. So it's good to know, even if it seems like there's not a lot of support around, there actually really is. There actually is if you turn around, change your perspective. So good to know. And then, okay, so that was what was holding us back. And then we have what can we call upon for support? And this is really, really interesting. We have 2 cards, and I'm reading them both. They both flew out very purposefully, so we went with that. We have the 5 of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups reversed. So another cup card, which is interesting. So this is definitely, to me, speaking to the aftermath of the Cancer moon and the emotions and the relationships that are really at the forefront of our minds right now. So 5 of Swords, that was our next step forward last week. So to me, this is seeming like this event is right on the precipice of happening, or it has just happened. But it is an argument with another. There's a feeling of loss. There's a feeling of you put everything out there and it just didn't land. Now you are left picking up the pieces, the shattered pieces. And there's this little cloud over this person's head, and they're bummed. This is a bumming situation. So I think that, the fact that we have the Ace of Cups reversed in conjunction with this card and in conjunction with the Four of Cups, where we're feeling that emotional scarcity, this is, we're either pouring from an empty cup, like we're not taking care of ourselves and filling ourselves up before we're giving to others, or just that definitely is what it is. Like something is not like fully taken care of like within ourselves, which could be causing why we're having these arguments and issues with other people in our lives. And this is really speaking to like a relational issue that's going on. So in order to feel more supported, we really need to take care of ourselves and our hearts first and foremost, and make sure we're filling up our cup and not just pouring where there's nothing left to pour. So very important, very good advice there. And then, okay, our underlying and hidden themes. We also have two cards, which I just went with because they really seemed like they wanted to be heard. So let's see, we have the Nine of Cups and we have Strength reversed. So Nine of Cups is all about our wishes coming true. It's a serendipitous, beautiful moment where we've followed all of these steps, we've followed the path and we've gotten to this position where we're stepping on the ladder, we're reaching out, and all of our dreams are basically in these jars on these shelves, just waiting for us to grab. So anything is possible in this card, and it's all about to come true. It's really is the card of wishes and dreams coming true. And what does that mean and look like for you? Which of course is very apropos with the City of Dreams spread. So this also takes place at an herbalist shop. It's called Flower Power in New York City. So if you have the chance to go there and check it out, it is just this beautiful and just this magical, if not even more. It's lovely. And this location actually appears in Midnight City Tarot 2 times because it is that special. So I always, especially now, am really leaning into the cards being extremely layered and significant in more than one aspect. So not only is this signifying like our dreams coming true and just like we're right on the precipice of reaching out and grabbing them, but it also speaks to like herbal medicine, and it speaks to, working with herbs. We have yarrow, lemon balm, dandelion, which I read something about dandelion today. I think it was a dandelion flower essence, and it helps you to deal with change, which I thought, oh my gosh, that's so amazing for right now. And definitely I recommend like looking into this. This is literally just something I read this morning. I'm not an expert on, but I'm hoping to learn a lot more about herbs soon. And what else do we have? Angelica root, we have peace, prosperity, juniper, and violet leaves, and love. So there's lots of choices here and lots of beautiful things. And then think of what we could also create when we alchemize and gather maybe more than one of these jars and put them together and create something really, really beautiful. Like to me, we have protection, we have love, we have support, we have just, the herbal world is really wonderful. So definitely, if you guys are getting into herbal medicine, let me know down below. It's something that I'm starting to get into and I'm super excited about because it's a long time coming. But yeah, that's the Nine of Cups. And then we have Strength, and it is reversed. So this card it takes place at the New York Public Library. This is somewhere where I would walk to on my lunch breaks when I was having really a difficult time, like working in Manhattan and just struggling with all the energy and all the people. And, on the days when I feel like I really needed to find that inner strength, I would go for a long walk, whether it was hot out or cold out or snowing or whatever. And I would walk to the library and the lions would be out front and they're just so beautiful. And then actually after I illustrated this card, I looked up like what are the names of the lions. And let me see, I forget their names right now, but I have my guidebook here and it's included in there. And it was so amazing because it has to do with fortitude. That's what it was. Okay. They have, one is named Fortitude and has been watching over New York City for more than 100 years. Fortitude waits here patiently, courageously guarding the city. You come here in difficult days to be inspired by this composed symbol of strength. It reminds you of how powerful and resilient you are too. And then also when it is reversed, it's like we're feeling overwhelmed and having a hard time finding that inner strength. but it is here. Like, it is here. The card strength did come up. It is just reversed. So this is a reminder that you can dig deep and maybe go to a place that makes you feel reminded of that strength, or find a book, because we are at the library, that reminds you of how strong and powerful and courageous you are. And I love reading for magic ritual purposes. Like, I feel like it gets you in the mindset of the book. So if you can find a book where, the character was super courageous and they dug deep and they stood up for themselves and they stood up for other people and what was right, or whatever you're working on and need help doing, and just feel like you're getting embodied and like you're really just like in that character, that's a really cool and powerful way to do that. And also I'm getting a message of like working with the color yellow, which this is so funny. Like, I really just drew all of these like intuitively, and then after I'm still realizing like what everything means. And courage, I'm thinking of the color yellow and our solar plexus, which is really where like our courage can come from and our strength can come from and our confidence. So that's interesting. And here, this is such a beautiful, beautiful honey calcite that I absolutely love. It's from And Crystals. I totally recommend checking them out. It's Katie Jane Wright is her name, and I absolutely love her work. Her crystals are not just crystals. They are true energy healing. So yes, if you feel like you need to call on allies like that, that's definitely a great resource that I would recommend checking out as well. Okay, so that's what we have for underlying and hidden themes. And then for our next steps, we have the Page of Swords, which also we had a couple weeks ago. And this is a figure, it's probably us, I'm imagining, because of the position that it's in. And they've got their sword, they're stepping out into the world, into the city, like out of their apartment, and they're not quite on the street, so they're kind of above the issues and the drama and all of the stuff that's going on, but they are embarking on something. And it could be a project to do with writing, and I have my pencil here. It could have to do with communication, because it is the swords, so it has to do with something like that, something about communicating, or writing, or yeah, those would be the main things, or our intellect, like intellectual things. So it's the beginning, embarking on a project, and they're going out. They're like very active in this endeavor, but they're also like kind of like avoiding like the difficult conversations or situations. So something to be aware of. And let me see if the guidebook has anything else to say about the Page of Swords that I may have forgotten. Let's see. Okay. Yes, the Page of Swords leaves their building to begin a new project. Though not fully adventuring out into New York City, they remain on the step. They stand above the sidewalk, opting for the high road, disconnecting from any problems. The little library that they've placed outside their apartment shows their interest in matters of the mind and the desire to share information or knowledge, through writing specifically. The Page of Swords can be an enthusiastic force supporting you as you begin a new project, possibly having to do with communication. So that's what we have for our Page of Swords, and the guidebook is also available at midnightcitytarot.com. And I'm really super proud of this body of work that I put together with the help of Amanda Riley and Leland. Leland was so helpful and integral in creating this book. It's so beautiful. And yeah, he did all the design. So it's like super laid out really easily. Like, I definitely wanted the cards to be depicted on the same page as the writing, because that doesn't always happen depending on, how things are printed. So we did this in full color, so it'd be like super easy to like really take in all of the knowledge and information that's in here. And in the beginning, it also goes into more information about all of the art. So there's art on the inside of the box as well, not just the outside. It had to do the inside liner and the bottom. And this kind of tells the story about like why I chose these streets, and it invites you and welcomes you like to dive in, because of course we've got the entrance to the subway, and then on our cards we have the little subway signs. So that's our little invitation into the world of Midnight City Tarot. So yeah, definitely check out the guidebook for more info. It's available at midnightcitytarot.com. And yeah, this was a really interesting spread. Lots of familiar faces and some new ones too, and 2 majors, which is always really cool to see. It really makes me feel like we are more guided when we have these like major cards come up for us. And yeah, Temperance just makes me feel like this like sweet softness and just like that fluttering of wings surrounding us. So I like to do that as a visual sometimes if I feel like I need extra grace or protection around me. I just imagine being enveloped by angel wings. And this is a nice visual that you could imagine too, just this beautiful swan enveloping you with their wings. So let's leave it on that note, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you liked the video, I would love it if you could hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments, and I'm happy to answer them for you. So yeah, have a great week, and I'll see you guys next time.